Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. On Monday, I released a video talking about the World of Warcraft subreddit, which I tried to keep it with more of a humorous vibe going on it, but I noticed that on one of the things that I came across, I went into more of a speculation tangent that I didn't really think fit with the theme of the video because, as I said, I wanted to keep it more of a humorous thing. And on top of that, I rambled on for 7 or so minutes, but I still thought that the concepts I had were fairly interesting, and after the cinematics that we saw for the Siege of Lordaeron, I think that they're especially relevant. Mind you, this was recorded before any of the Siege of Lordaeron stuff. I recorded on about Thursday or Friday of last week, so this is without any of the Siege of Lordaeron stuff in mind. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and play the video from that recording here. I'll give a little bit more feedback on it after I get done playing it, but I'm not going to interject any additional opinions into the video that are not already there from the previous ones. And I do want to say, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video, and if you like it, be sure to leave a like. And if you agree with the thoughts I have, be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know, and let me know what you think about it. In addition to that, if you're new here, don't forget to get subscribed. Anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. I thought it was really interesting how they did this. Taliesin and Nevitil put a video out recently about talking through the different imagery and the composition of the Warbringer Sylvanas short, and I thought that they did a great job of doing that. He very much made a point of that. It was extremely interesting how they showed it as though it was a group effort, the attack on Teldrassil prior to the whole situation with the fire. But then after the decision was made to burn it and you see the tree on fire, it shows Sylvanas standing alone. Not even your hero is a part of what's going on. And it's actually panning out away. I don't know if panning is the right word. Zooming out, whatever, away from the scene. Trying to isolate Sylvanas in comparison to the rest of the Horde. Really trying to hit home that she's not really a part of what the Horde's values actually are. Which I thought was very interesting. Which I do want to say, for what it's worth, I'm not a great connoisseur of story writing or something like that, so I can't speak on the actual quality of it. But in my personal perception, I don't think Sylvanas is a terrible character. I think she's terrible for the Horde, but as an actual antagonist, like the way that you look at the Lich King, the way that you look at Garrosh, or later Garrosh, or some people look at him that way, some people don't. Whatever you do with him, or any of the other antagonists of expansions we fought, Sargeras, Kil'jaeden, she very much fits a mold of an antagonist in that sense. To me, she's an enemy to both the Alliance and the Horde. So I don't think that they're doing anything bad with her as far as actual story quality goes, but I think that they're taking her away from Horde values, and I don't think it's an accident. Something I really kind of theorize about is the possibility of, especially when you see Jaina, how very clearly pissed off she is with this whole situation. Currently, we're seeing it as people are saying that it's pictured as the Alliance being good and the Horde being bad, and the beginning of the expansion is being set as a good versus evil thing. And for obvious reasons, not everyone likes that, not everyone dislikes it either, but there is a noticeable number of Horde players who are like, I don't want to be looked at as a bad guy because I want to say I'm right. Which I'm not saying that they are right or wrong one way or the other, but they would look at this and they're like, this is clearly not good. This isn't what I represent, and this goes into a whole other wormhole whenever you take into consideration druids. My only Horde character I really play at this point is my druid, and I went through this on my druid, and there's no way in hell this makes any kind of sense whenever you are doing this as a druid. But what they're currently doing, it seems like they're creating a conflict in the Horde, so it's the Horde battling itself, whereas you don't really see a whole lot of that in the Alliance. And what I could very much see them doing is some point in the expansion, whether it's the beginning or in Battle for Azeroth, at some point, whether it's the beginning or some way through the expansion, I could very much see them taking Jaina and somehow turning her into this. I mean, already she's like, we need to kill and disband the Horde. She is super anti-Horde at this point, which she hasn't always been like that. And I very much could see them taking it a route and making Jaina turn around and eventually do something similar to this, not necessarily doing something against. I mean, Druid values are not Horde or Alliance aligned. They're neutral. They're prioritizing nature and the natural order of things. I don't think that I could see her doing that kind of thing, but I could definitely see them taking her and turning her into the character that leads an onslaught or basically a genocide against different Horde races, like you see Sylvanas doing currently with the Night Elves. And at that point, there would be some level of feeling of retribution that the Alliance would feel, but at a certain point, obviously it gets to where that Jaina would be no better than Sylvanas in that situation, and she would essentially be evil herself, which this also sort of lines up with the idea that both of them are warbringers, and I'd like to see how Ashara really plays into this as well. I'm very interested to see that, but it's an interesting thought because we don't really see a whole lot of internal conflict going on in the Alliance currently. And there's just no way that they would. I personally don't think that there's any way that they would have an internal conflict like that with the Horde, but not have that with the Alliance at some point, especially in this specific expansion, since that's kind of the theme. Because I think they're trying to set the story up so that it's Horde versus Alliance, but what really is happening is it's Horde versus Horde and Alliance versus Alliance, and then those two groups, which is inadvertently Horde and Alliance, versus each other. So it's an odd thing, but it's the kind of thing that gets people making 40 posts a day in subreddits, in groups, wherever have you, talking about how Sylvanas is the greatest thing that's happened since sliced bread, and Sylvanas is, oh my god, this is not the Horde. I can't be a part of this. And yeah, it's an interesting dynamic in my opinion. I'm extremely excited to see where that they take that personally. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, opening shot versus closing shot. Now it's so subtle. So that was my speculation for last Thursday. As for where it stands now, well, seeing the cinematic play out, I'm growing more and more into the belief that Anduin just doesn't have what it takes to do what he needs to do, which is, of course, kill Sylvanas. Jaina, on the other hand, Jaina seems like she's ready to destroy her. Gen looks like he is too, but he's compliant with Anduin's wishes, at least for the most part, save from the Stormheim situation. Jaina, though? Not so much. It's for that reason that I predict that at some point in this expansion, we're going to see Jaina become very violent and genocidal, ready to kill off the entirety of the Horde. Or as I like to call the prediction, #genocide. And she's going to go to the extent that she becomes even an enemy to the Alliance, because of how evil she's being. Thus, the Alliance versus Alliance needed for the Horde versus Alliance theory I had before. Which lines up perfectly for an old god to step in and, mess everything up. Anyway, that's my theory. If you think it has any merit, be sure to leave a comment letting me know and whatever else you think. Otherwise, leave a like on the video while you're down there, and if you're new here, get subscribed. That all being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.